Me and Alex, say my name, Alex. Bring the flame, my neighbors. Love and change, we'll be talking. Make it play, and Alex, keep it real.
On bond, apparently on several other matters when this matter was allegedly committed. I'm looking at an A and really a super D, a C, really 3 C's and an A really for tracking kind of purposes. It's pretty serious.
Your Honor mentioned criminal homicide. I thought that was attempted.
I said, did I say homicide? I meant to say attempted criminal homicide if I didn't.
Okay, understood.
I thought I did, but that's still an A felony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a bail
I'm
hearing.
gonna set just a bond right now after we have our bail hearing. Then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at $1.25 million.
What's going on, y'all? It's Ian Alex, and we gotta talk about this Chud the Builder situation because this story just went from internet trolling to a serious criminal case. Dalton Eatherly, better known online as Chud the Builder, is now facing attempted murder and other felony charges after a shooting outside of Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee on May 13, 2026. According to reports, there was an altercation outside the courthouse, shots were fired, and another man had to be airlifted to a Nashville hospital for emergency surgery. Eatherly was also reportedly injured. Now here's where it gets even crazier. A judge set his preliminary bond at $1.25 million. Prosecutors reportedly wanted him held with no bond, but the judge still set the bond extremely high because of the seriousness of the allegations. And this is not just some random person nobody knew. Chud the Builder had already built a reputation online for confrontational live streams and racially offensive content. Reports say he would film himself antagonizing people in public, and that background is now being investigated as a bigger conversation around this case. He's been charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, and employing a firearm during a dangerous felony. To be clear, these are allegations right now. He has not been convicted, and the case still has to go through court. But this is the part people need to pay attention to. Online behavior can spill into real life. When your whole brand is confrontation, rage bait, and pushing people's buttons, eventually something can go way too far. And now, instead of just being talked about online, he's sitting in jail with $1 million plus bond and serious charges hanging over him. So the question is, was this self-defense situation like his side may argue, or did the behavior people saw online finally lead to something dangerous in real life? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you subscribe to I Am Ian Alex for a full breakdown on stories like this. So there's an old saying, don't write checks that your ass can't cash. And Chud the Builder is a perfect example of that saying. You know, I've been watching this guy for a little minute now. Not long, but like he started to get on my radar because of the outlandish and extreme things that he would do to rage bait people, specifically black people. He would call us monkeys and say we're chimping out, doing all this crazy stuff. And then when somebody wants to confront him, he brandishes his weapon, or he's operating in a manner like he's gonna kill somebody if they touch him, or you know what I mean? He's making these threats. But you know, once you start going viral for this particular type of thing, people are gonna try you. So there was another situation where he was in Memphis at a gas station, and somebody who also had a gun tested him. And he didn't have the same energy that he would have for someone that doesn't have a gun. He'll, you know, step up to you and act a certain way, knowing that you're not going to do anything because you see he has a gun. But never want to do the fist. He would never want a fist fight for real. He's just always saying rageful things, calling you the N-word, saying that you're chimping out, you're a monkey, this, that, and the third. But then it started to get a little bit to where he was no longer the bully, he was getting bullied. People started to see him in the streets and confront him. You know what I mean? So this situation seems like one of those situations. A black man gets at him, starts beating his ass, and he's probably overwhelmed by the thrashing. So he shoots him and also shoots himself. That's how dumb he is. So he shoots the black man, but he shoots himself in the process. Now he's sitting here with this digital footprint of his behavior, and now he's getting sentenced to possibly 15 to 25 years if he's convicted. And no, actually 15 to 60 years if he's convicted. And so, do we feel sorry for him? No, actually, this is one of the fastest gratifying karmic situations that could happen. I was sitting up here saying, man, one or two things are gonna happen. He's gonna be dead, he's gonna end up hurt really bad, or in jail. And now he's, sitting in a jail cell. 1.25 million. In Tennessee? Bro, I don't know what makes people get up and say, I want to go viral for being this type of dude. A lot of this has to do with the, political climate right now. A lot of people feel emboldened, to operate in a way where, they can let their racism fly. And he would do this stuff, antagonizing people, and use it under the whole premise of freedom of speech. He was like, this is my freedom of speech. I can say the N-word. Yes, you can say what you want, but there's repercussions for things that you say. There's repercussions for everything. So it's like they said, don't write checks that your ass can't cash. If you want that check, if you want to write that check, when it comes to you and you gotta, pay up, I hope you're ready. You know what I mean? So yeah, people could do what they want, but just know there's repercussions for the action. And this is one of those stories that is developing that I'm gonna pay close attention to. And listen, may the gods be with him or not, but he definitely is deserving of what's going on with him. He has nobody to blame but himself. This is where, social media blurs reality. People think, oh, I'm gonna put on this character. My name is Chud the Builder. I guess he took it from Bob the Builder. And now he's like running around, rage baiting people, It's the same thing with people who do these silly pranks, and then when stuff really happens to them, am I supposed to feel sorry? You're over here disrupting people's everyday life just because you want to go viral and get money. Man, there's ways to get money, but you don't got to do it on the backs of other people. So this is food for thought. Y'all do the dishes, and please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. You can find me on I am Ian Alex on YouTube and all my other social media handles. And stay tuned for more.